bada. Now where do we have the body at? Okay.
3 girls are currently under police investigation for allegedly attacking a black girl with epilepsy. The incident occurred in Michigan. Victim Audrey Masaryk said she was drinking with several acquaintances that night, but was then forcibly fed alcohol until she gradually lost consciousness. While she was unable to resist, the girls began recording videos, physically assaulted her, and even discussed what to do with her body if she died. Afterward, Audrey suffered severe injuries, including swollen eyes, facial abrasions, and multiple bruises across her body, and was rushed to the hospital, where she experienced an epileptic seizure during treatment. It is known that the video was recorded in November last year, and the girls were aware beforehand of Audrey Masaryk's epilepsy and mental health conditions. Audrey has since contacted a lawyer and plans to sue those involved. According to reports, police are investigating their chat logs and actions captured in the video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. That is to say, in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashim, which means in the name. Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what we saw was a controversial video of 3 white girls, young women, Edomites, luring a black girl, a so-called black girl, an Israelite, over to pay her back for trash that is said that they had claimed that she talked over the phone, all right? They invited her over, got her drunk, beat her up, sent her into an epilepsy episode, you know, and recorded it all, okay? See? This is why the Bible is very important, man, okay? Never trust thy enemies, all right? Never, under no circumstances. See? They get all buddy-buddy with you, you know, offer you over, you know, tell you you're going to have a good time. You know, next thing you know, they plotting, they scheming, they putting you in a blanket, you know, exercising the thoughts of how to discard you, okay? And that's just that perpetual hatred that they have towards Jake, okay? Now I can speak back in my earlier days, you know, reflecting back on now, and I think about, you know, I did a similar stunt like this, okay? I went over to this, you know, so-called white dude's house, you know, that I knew in the community college that I went to, you know, to do some, what do you call it, extracurricular activities, you know, just to say, you know, smoke some weed, man. All right? You know, hey, when I got there, you know, I didn't perceive him as a threat because he was in a wheelchair or what have you. But nevertheless, man, it could have been on some damn Jeffrey Dahmer shit. See? So never trust your enemy is the point behind this, okay? They can get you inebriated. They can get you, you know, intoxicated. They can get you strung up, you know, and next thing you know, have their way with you, you know, or do whatever, man. All right? But nevertheless, man, you can't trust these damn Edomites, all right? No matter how safe you think they come off as being a non-threat, you don't know, especially 3 of them, see? In my case, I was like, man, this dude in a wheelchair, man. What are you gonna do? All right? You know? So, hey, this is a cautionary tale, man. All right? Your homeboy, who you think perceive as, you know, friends or homeboys at the job, you know, they actually come over, you know, play the video game or, you know, just come over and have a few brewskis or whatever. Next thing you come over, man, they all there waiting for things to materialize for you to get inebriated, for you to get drunk. And they start posing questions and asking you things that you think they didn't know about you. And if you can't answer the questions correctly, who knows what they may or may not do to you. All right? But see, don't even put yourself in that type of environment. All right? Don't even put yourself in that type of environment, because you know these damn Edomites, they got a perpetual hatred towards Jake. Going back to Esau and Jacob. Really going back to Cain and Abel. Okay? That same spirit that was in Cain is in Esau, man. So it says, Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. See? It's going to be evident, all right? And he's going to show his horns, all right? At the end of the day, Esau, Edom is going to show you who he is, man, which is why those small hats are being exposed as not being the people of the Holy Bible, man, all right? Their wickedness is being shown, their horns, okay? That power that they possess, that the Lord gave them, okay? It's showing you that they can't be the children of Israel, because the children of Israel would be in a position of not having power. Their salvation would have to come from on high. By who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, not by man. Okay, because those small hats, their claim to fame was that for the longest that they the real Jews, man. Okay, and for the longest the people bought it, man. But now seeing that they're exposed, they're starting to show their true colors. They're starting to show their horns, their power. Okay, they got America into this war. See, that's the power, man. The horns represents what? Power. All right, that's why it says the least of the flock should draw them out. How you think they got America into this whole thing? Okay, because they got the power. All right, that was given to them from who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on the left hand side, man. All right, to what? Fulfill prophecy. Okay, but nevertheless, getting back to the scriptures, it says, which we were, but getting back to this topic right here, it says, verse 11, though he humble himself. See, oh yeah, man, I got a little bit of, Mary Jane at the crib, man. We can go over there, and, get high, or, you can come over here in this case and we can drink and we can, talk about all type of shit. And the next thing you know, you done passed out, you done blacked out. They punching on you. They jumping on you from like the top rope, like a WWE move, a WWF move, a flying elbow. See? And it said that she was pregnant as well, man. All right. Now, who knows, what she was doing. Okay. But see, this is why we got to thank the Lord that he woke us up to this truth. Okay. Because you can only imagine when Jacob's trouble really materialized. All right. And you may meet a Edomite, a white person, so-called white person. And they may say, hey, man, come on over, to the crib. We can cook some food or something like that. And you thinking nothing of it. You go over there, and the next thing you know, you are the food. See? You are the main course. All right? So you can't trust these damn Edomites, man. No matter how humble they come. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching. That's the ploy, the plot to get you to come over. Because they got nefarious ideas in store for you. It says, yet take good heed and be aware of him. See? Now we know who the enemy is. Esau, Edom, so-called self-proclaimed white man. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. See? You're going to be able to see through all his evil intentions. It says, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Because he still got a little bit of that hatred towards you, man. All right? Even though he tried to put on a facade, a front, his M.O., his ulterior motive is to get you over, is to get you somewhere, and it's to what? Take care of you. And I ain't talking about fix you a plate and puff your pillow, no. take care of you mean to make sure that you on your last breath and that it comes to an end in his presence or at the behalf of him nevertheless. Or her in this case. See? It says, as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. See? This devil always have had a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel. This is Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. This is talking about Esau and his hatred towards who? Jacob, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. See? They always looking for a weak point. They always looking for a weak moment when you at your weakest. And how are you at your weakest? When you're inebriated, when you're intoxicated, when you're drunk. See? Literally and figuratively. All right? You drunk off this damn Christianity, so guess what? You believe God so loved the world, you know, and that verse is talking about everybody on the earth, including your damn enemy. So what happens? You go over there, you know, and you find out that, hey, that's not true. That the Lord don't love this damn, you know, devil, this Edomite. And next thing you know, the Lord got you in a compromised position because why? You didn't take heed to the scriptures. And he's using this goddamn devil to show you why you should have. See? So whether you drunk, literally, whether this devil gets you drunk off of some Jack Daniel, or whether he gets you high off of some type of, you know, weed cookies or, you know, marijuana or whatever, you know, smoking it, eating it, whatever, or whatever. See? Or figuratively, meaning off of his doctrines, his philosophies, his ideologies, you know, guess what? He got you. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. See? It says, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See, we at the end of our time of iniquity. And this devil's really finna ramp it up, man. And if you trust him by any means, and he gets you in a disclosed location and do what it is that he want to do with you, that's on you, because why? You've been warned, okay? Keep business business and pleasure pleasure, man. Don't mix the two, man. Here it is, you know, you think you cool on the job because you speak to the damn devil, you know, you may even crack a couple of jokes or two, and he feels, you know, confident enough to invite you outside of the job. Rule number 1, don't trust him. Rule number 2, don't trust him. Rule number 3, don't trust him. Rule number 4, never trust him. Rule number 5, never trust him. Rule number 6, never trust him. Rule number infinity, never trust thy enemy. See? Hey man, let's just go out to the bar, man, and get a drink. Or you come on, you say you like that new PC game, man. Man, come on, man. Come on over to the crib, man. You know, see? You don't trust this damn devil. And this is what happened. All right. Now she was able to walk away with it, but some people never are ever seen again or heard back from again. All right. And won't, especially in the time of a lawless society, such as when we are in full-blown Jacob's trouble. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. See, but the Lord is going to get this damn devil back, man. That's why it says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. All right. First it says, Revelation 13, he that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the saints. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. See? That's speaking of this damn devil, man, because he pursued with blood. So by blood, it's going to be shed, man. He going to have to go into captivity. And if he fight against it, guess what? The Lord going to put him down, man. It says, here is the patience in the faith of the saints who are what? Israelites, okay? Pursuing the scriptures. Psalms 147, okay? Those are the saints, are Israelites, not anybody else. If you're not an Israelite, you're not a saint. And that's pursuant to what? Biblical scriptures. This is Psalms 148 and 14. It reads, he also exalteth the horn of his people. Who? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Who are his people? The praise of all his saints. Who are the saints? Even of the children of Israel. A people near unto him, praise ye Yahweh. See? So the Lord is going to pay this devil back, man. Because why? He took us into captivity and he killed us by the sword. He pursued blood. So the Lord is going to pursue him, man, and shed his blood. All right? So never trust your enemy, man. Because if you do, that's on you. You've been warned. All right? If you find yourself in a compromising position and you are able to sober up and you look back and you reflect back on how you ended up here, just know it's because you didn't take heed to the word, man. All right? Just know that, man. All right? You didn't want to repent. You didn't want to get right. You didn't want to seek the Lord. So guess what? He prepared a judgment for you in the form of this damn devil getting ready to do some type of type of activity on you. All right? So stay locked in, man. These scriptures is for your benefit. All right? These scriptures are for your benefit. It's to tell you how to navigate and to traverse in a land in a captivity that the rulers over it don't have your best interests at heart, man. Okay? They don't. The rulers of the earth is Esau, Edom as of now until Yahushua comes and take that crown from them. All right? Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? Who is the wicked? It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who covered the faces of the judges thereof? Well, just Google Jesus, Google Moses, Google any of the prominent figures in the Holy Bible and see what they look like. All right, they're going to look like the so-called white man. And when you go into the scriptures and look how they look and get a description of them, they don't look nothing like a so-called white man. So that's how we know one of the telltale signs of who the wicked is that the earth was given into. Okay, they look just like them, so-called Edomites. All right, it's like so-called white people, which are biblically known as who? The Edomites. Matter of fact, let's just get that verse. This is Job 9:24. Says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See? Who is he if he ain't the so-called white man? It ain't the Arabs. It ain't the Chinese. All right? It's the so-called white man. All right? And they got a perpetual hatred towards you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. All right? That's why it's by no sheer coincidence that Trump is trying to get rid of you out of his land. Or so he believes that it's his land. All right. So you can continue to trust this broken staff, this broken reed, America. It says where if one lean their hand on it, they should be pierced. All right. Let's see if we can get that verse and then we get ready to close out. This is Isaiah 36 and verse 6. It says, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. Now we know today Egypt is represented by America, you know, which it says in Revelation 11, which is called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. You see, it says, whereon if a man lean, why? Because you trusted in this system. You trusted and it said not to trust your enemy. You trusted this system as being your what? Ally or a friend. When you was never supposed to trust this system. You're just supposed to get your daily bread. But because you leaned on this broken reed, it says what? It says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand. See? And eventually that RFID microchip is going to go into your hand because you lean and trust on this system. that's backed by who? Esau, all right? After you was told what? To never trust thy enemy. You leaned on him. And he gave you exactly what you came for, all right? A one-way ticket to hell, okay? Because you will be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, America, Sodom and Egypt, by the way of thermonuclear fire. It says, and pierced it. See? So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Never trust thy enemy. But if you can't recognize who your enemy is, then guess what? You're going to trust him, which is why a lot of our people going to trust him. Just as that one girl, Audrey, trusted those 3 YT, so-called white girls, Edomites, okay? But the outcome is going to be a lot worse for our people, all right? Because they ain't going to recover from a beat down, all right? When Esau rolls on them, that's going to be it, all right? And the Lord's going to ultimately use the missiles to destroy the 2/3 of our people, right alongside the other heathen nations, but we're not concerned about them. See? They don't have repentance. They don't have salvation afforded for them. It's only for the Israelites, all right? So you've been warned, never to trust thy enemy. Let's go ahead and close out. 1 Peter 5 and verse 8 reads what? Be sober, be vigilant. How? By reading the scriptures, by getting understanding, by applying it to your life. See? Why? Because your adversary, the devil, the same one that the scriptures told us not to trust, never, says, as a roaring lion walketh about, though he come crouching and humbling. Don't trust that, man. It's a facade. It's a front. See? It's to get you to lower your guard down. Okay? That's why he used scriptures in verses like John 3:16. Okay? It says, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he, this damn devil, may devour. Those that don't know, those that don't study to show themselves approved. Those that don't take heed to the servants of prophets that the Lord set up to give them warning. All right? Those are the ones of our people that he's going to devour. Okay? Just like those 3 white girls, so-called white girls, devoured that so-called black girl. Okay? Now, they didn't devour her to the extent that they ended her life, but it came damn near close to it, man. All right? If you want to try your luck, hey, do what you do. All right? But you don't have a bone or a back to stand on that you weren't warned, because you were warned. And if you didn't take heed, that's because the Lord didn't want you to, right? And ultimately, that was your judgment. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And that's pretty much it. We're going to wrap it up with that being said. Pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, stay strong, stay in the faith. Hey, we're almost home. Shalom. Peace.